All right. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Where's my voice? All right. Give me a second. Let me check. All right. I hope everyone is doing well. And my voice is working well. We have a new stream setup, just testing it out, so bear with us. Yes, it will definitely be recorded as well, and we're gonna upload it later on to various platforms. Let's wait some more couple minutes till everyone can get in, and we just started. Get to it. We have some amazing questions in a Discord, so I'm looking forward to it. Alex, our head of community, is unfortunately sick, so I'm gonna do it this one alone. So I hope that is okay for you guys as well. Hi James. Hi Arthur. Hi Fabrizio. Glad you guys here. Where's the music? Give me some bit of music. Hi Jafar. Hi Frost Knight. All right. Oh, we have some nice stuff to play around. You can also highlight comments. Yes, it will be recorded. And we have some trackers on the bottom, like a news TV. That's pretty cool. Join our Discord. All right. I hope my sound is good. If it needs to be louder, let me know. All right. Okay, so we recording this as well, so everyone gonna see it later on. Anyway, we have a nice lineup for questions, and we're also having an announcement today after this this live stream. So we're gonna talk about it already. So a bit of talk alpha, what's gonna be announced in an hour probably from here, and then we show you also the sneak peek video of it. It's gonna be fun. Cool. Then let's get started. I see if we can hear you, but a little louder would be better. So I'm gonna make it a little bit louder later as well. I see people joining still. Thanks for coming. Really appreciate it. Let's share my Discord and then go through some of the questions you guys had. It was very nice stuff happening. So let's see. Where did we start it from? Okay, let's get put it on the other side of the Discord, and then I'm going to add it. Okay, let's try it out like this. So captions and can we do it like this? Let me see. There we are. So where are you going to open that blockchain merging? So blockchain merging actually opened. So I think you're referring to the tab in game. So right now the blockchain merging is working very well on our website. The reason for that it's not in game right now is there are a lot of Google and iOS policies we need to make sure you're on the right side. So that's why we are still waiting to making sure a proper integration is happening. So our goal is definitely to make sure everything you can do on a website, let's say in the marketplace, the merge, some other stuff coming in soon, you're going to be able to do it from within the game as well. Of course, we want to make sure we're in the legal side of things, on the safe zone. So we are deploying this slowly. So right now the NFT merge is on our website, so you can definitely have a look at it. And when it's going to be in game, that's cannot tell about that yet. But it doesn't make a difference. It's everything is recorded in game as well, so that should be fine. Next question: are you going to add mini boss with samurai and leave your weapon drop on it? Yeah, so we I think we definitely add some more weapons, if I don't items for the boss drop. I assume you're telling the tokens. That's something we're definitely looking to add to it as we introduce also new heroes. That's basically you can say about it. So we want to make sure. So the overall idea is we want to make sure that each hero has enough weapons to be acquired in very different matters. So, for example, through the PVE, through campaign, get a virtual item. Through boss, you can get epic item. In the chest, you have items for the hero. So the hero is always viable from the equipment perspective. Let's see. Next question. Let's check this. Part here. Oh, there's too much character. Anyway, let me hide it. Good. So, in previous anime, you said you were going to have some preseason before every season. This is the test heroes balancing, weapon balancing, and leaderboard mechanism. Are we going to see this anytime soon? And why no having one already after Barbarian Raider Wukong changes? Okay, that's a very good question from Angelo. Basically, your plan is to have preseason after each season, right? Before each season, or after the previous season, right? If you do big changes, people can get used to some changes. Also, give us some time for different events and also different features we want to add to the game. That was like the plan, but we still want to make sure the game is dynamic, right? The changes we did before that, it was just to make sure. So our goal is to make sure that the variety of heroes in the game are not limited to just certain amount, right? And wait, what did you say? Question 11. I think you missed the first 10. Oh wait, it's actually like number question. Oh my god. You're right. My bad. I'm gonna do it. My bad. Maybe Alex, if you're watching, you can put it in the chat, the questions, and then I go through them through your command. I hope you're still watching or not. Good. Anyway, let's get back to it. I got distracted. So we want to make sure that we have meaningful changes in preseason, that it changes a lot of stuff, but also having balancing changes to make sure the game is dynamic and to make sure the game all heroes are viable and the arena is exciting as possible. We saw a lot of issues with, for example, the Raider was one of them. So Raider had this strategy that you run it to the corner, for example, activate the Raider buff radius skill, and no one can attack your other heroes till your enemy gets to the Raider. It's much more time. So it was basically a very broken strategy. Barbarian was too strong, and that we saw everyone was spamming Barbarian, and Wukong was there's no need to say that Wukong. There were games that Wukong had, I don't know, 6, 7, 6, 8 clones. So that was not viable, right? So we really had to do some changes. So we're definitely trying to make sure that we do bigger changes in the preseason. And with bigger changes, I also mean hopefully bigger gameplay changes. So, for example, something new we introduce, a new arena obstacle, a new arena design, right? But the balancing changes are still going to happen as we see needed. Basically, what we're trying to also do is make sure that we have a schedule. So we can announce it, but we're gonna have on Wednesdays. We're gonna always have a server maintenance for an hour early in the morning, and then we also have a balancing patch on Wednesday. So we are going to go away from single changes rather than a bigger change every Wednesday if it's necessary, just like other game studio does it. So it's much more predictable for you guys as well. Where do I start from the AMA questions? Is this one? Question 1? Yeah, I think so. Oh, cool. I think it is, right? This suggestion. Oh my god, this is not yet one. Or is it? Is it? Okay. Question 1. Let me see if we can put it in so it is much easier later on for so this one. Why, while doing the hero barrack UI rework, instead of making it easier, it's become harder to navigate? I mean, it's always we'll be doing some testing on the UI side. So I think the town UI overhaul was an interesting aspect of it, because we changed a lot of icons also, as well as where to put stuff. If it feels like harder, maybe we can see it. But right now, I think the town looks in a very good position. I think it looks much better. We're definitely going to redo the town UI as well, so to make it less noisy. Right now, it's a lot of icons all around the place, so it can be like a bit noisy. So we're going to approach the way that we make it hide the icons, etc. But I think it's also a matter of getting used to it. So we didn't get any feedback on it's harder. Maybe it's just getting used to it. But we definitely gonna keep monitoring that on a UI perspective as well. And why feature asked from players from years, like possibility to build 3 teams so easier switch between arena, boss adventure, are never been implemented. I mean, we're implementing stuff, right? It's not like we are not doing anything. Hey, Andre. Good to see you. But these are very good points. So the switch between arena, so build 3 teams. This is still in our backlog. That's something we are definitely in our mind. But we are also building other stuff. We're focusing on other stuff, and we are also making sure we want to have set of feature lists that we want to really make sure to have before we do anything else. So this is a very valid point. We will make sure that we implement this very soon, but this is on our list anyway. So what do we have? Next question. Was supposed to have a new expansion every 4 months, but after Gamma-D, we really didn't have any. Is it still on track or not? That's a very good question, actually. So basically, I mean, when we did the expansion model, we had some hypotheses on the speed of expansions or on our own speed of development, etc. I can say and assure you that an expansion is on the way. So the timeline is may different, but the expansion is on the way. And the reason for that is we are also focusing on other stuff right now, on making the feature, the game more stable. We did a lot of stuff since let's say last 1.5 years, right? If you look at our yearly recap from the code changes, from feature, from art, from etc., there are so many stuff happening, and I understand that maybe our expansion timeline didn't match what we said, but I think that's for the best actually, because you don't want to have a new expansion right at the point that, let's say, the game is not ready. We are not even ready for onboard no more people, do more user acquisition, right? So I believe that from the next expansion when we launch it, I think you're gonna love it as well. We team is working hard on that. It's going to be cool. You're definitely going to we are definitely going to make sure that we have a more more recurring expansion model in that sense. But I think it is my question is missing. Oh, okay. Prettier and harder, in fact. Okay. Just read the comments. But yeah, the expansion is on the way. It's definitely not it was not every 4 weeks, 4 months, but I think it is definitely, it was a good best decision to not do it and focus on getting the game better and better first till we release the next expansion, because expansion is a big thing and we can use expansion very well for attracting new eyes as well to the game. So we want to make sure the game is ready for that. This putting this this comments on the screen takes so much time. Let me see if I can add it to the chat. It's easier, I think. There you are. So we have, with the new UI heroes from Splash Art, look different from the playable ones. Example, Assassin and Splash Art have some colors are different. Are we going to see UI rework anytime soon? I mean I missed something. Okay, then we do this one. You miss okay. What is future of special NFT merch and how to balance all hero, because some old hero are useless, and how much to push the game community so we get more players. So future of NFT merch, special NFT merch that is coming. We're finalizing the numbers. It's going to be definitely a bit different than the regular merch, because the supply of special and how they are acquired are very different. But for me, it's very important that we make sure each NFT we have had some sort of utility, and I think the special ones are very are great stuff. We can find it for free. A lot of past. We had a lot of special items. With the engine migration is going to be also even more. So we need to make sure the supply is used in the right way. And that said, there's definitely going to be the special merge coming. We're also thinking about so not just the merge, but the special items are used even in an additional way. So that is something is coming. balancing our heroes, that's on our list. We want to make sure we make all heroes viable as possible. So we buffed also Thief, for example, and we also do some reworks on the skill sides as well. How to push the game community? We're working on with different partners to do some user acquisition, adding more adding more plays to it. We did see a lot of growth in our player base, basically, in last month, uh, and I think the game is also in a good position to be able to, um, host more players. You need to understand, like, doing user acquisition efforts before the game is ready to attract new users is just waste of money and waste of resources. So we are giving our best in that sense. At the end, we are still a indie studio. We're not um AAA Blizzard or something, but we are doing our best. We're working with some partners, with some publishers to get things going. But before that, on our list is for now is iOS. We want to make sure we have the iOS version out, so we have both platforms, which we can then let more people come into the game. I think the iOS launch which is on our next big task, is going to allow even more players into the game naturally, and then with the iOS there, we can do very effective user acquisition. Um, Good. What is the next question? Alex, as I said, you can also add more questions in there. It's much easier than if it's possible. Um, that was this question, right? Yeah. Um, so the splash art of the heroes, I think that was one of the first time we did splash arts for heroes. I think it's very important for the game. The game looks much better. It's also used a lot in the marketing materials. We're really happy to see the splash arts. Of course, a lot of them are still have some disparity between the actual um, in-game art with the splash art, and we are going to work on those as we move on. What else? Question 4. With guild implementation are going to have a guild season on the board on the side of single player one. Um, a guild season leaderboard. A guild season for the PvP, or how should I understand this question? To be honest, I don't know exactly what this question. I assume it's like a PvP for the guild, and if that's the question, we are definitely working on some. Is Alex writing? Let's see. But we are definitely working on having this Guild Wars idea implemented. First, the next updates to the guilds is going to be guild stash, guild flags. You're gonna love it. And then we're definitely gonna have this PvP element between guilds more and more. The quest is now we have a leaderboard. It's some sort of PvP, of course, but a direct PvP is going to be happen as well. Hopefully, at some sort of a way. Is it like like guild versus guild, or is it like how the guild, each guild member performs in the arena in general? There's definitely going to be something like that. Question 3. With the new heroes that we had already. You're gonna write the questions in Discord. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Please do that. Where were we? Sorry, guys. New setup. Also, like we have a lot of questions. I need to find them. Mine always has been only feature to get magic runes, but at the same time, I have a leaderboard to who reach the highest level will ever bring rewards to the player. Right now our leaderboard, which rewards player, is the arena leaderboard. The level leaderboard is scroll completely down. Nice. Thank you, Alex. Let's see. Ah, there we are. Nice. Thank you. Yeah, right now the leaderboard that rewards player is the arena leaderboard. But I think having a level leaderboard makes sense, and we can use it at some point later on. But there's no plan to reward top player levels. To be honest, the actual leaderboard is the arena, how you play with it. Is there any plan for FT inside the game? Let's make it possible to merge, or maybe a small to get the boss token. I think the FT is referred to the old engine items. We're definitely planning to have them involved in our migration plan. On the roadmap, it's stated that stacking and DAO should be really near. Is it still on track? It is still on track. Yes, and it is pretty near actually. Um, we're doing the final touches. We're also doing like a lot on our front end. The thing is, we are so as a company, we need to like some balance stuff, some stuff. We don't have endless resources. So put a lot of time in the game, but also we're working on improving our development stack on the website side, as we have like the marketplace now, the merge now, and the DAO is coming out. So this is still on the track. When will we expect to see it from engine NFTs again? And what is the decision how they will be reintegrated back in the game? The decision actually, the proposal is actually done. It's finished. We actually planned everything basically, but as I said, we want to first show it to you and use it as the first DAO proposal. So as soon as the DAO is integrated, we're probably gonna kickstart it with the engine item. So that is definitely on track, and it's also super important to me that it is on track. So no worries about that. When can we expect the major marketing event to take place? That's something I cannot really talk about. So that's very hard. Like you cannot say, because there's various reasons you cannot talk about these stuff. Like they cannot say, hey, tomorrow we're gonna have a Super Bowl commercial or something. But we are definitely working on user acquisition right now. We're working with a lot of partners, Wombat. We're doing a lot of expansion in Latin America, in SEA regions. So that something happens. It's not always a big event that's happened. It's sometimes also a gradual work, what we do in the background. Would it be unfair to those who have invested in an NFT featuring a particular hero if your hero stats skills were modified without prior notice or announcement? I mean, this is to be honest, this is how games work basically. I mean, we really try to do our best to make sure that everything stays fair and predictable in that sense. But I mean, gaming, that's the nature of game. The meta changes. We need to do balancings. What we never try to do, or from now on try to do, is change the stats of the NFT itself or something. But as a game studio, it is normal to balance games, balance stats, balance heroes, because the game evolves as we go, right? League of Legends does that. Warzone does that. World of Warcraft does that. So it's very hard. It's very hard to not do it. And I think if you don't do it, the game is going to be very static, and no one's gonna enjoy it anyway. Can we expect better and bigger rewards? I think we have good rewards right now for season 2. To be honest, season 1 was a sketchy ride. Season 2, we were going to make sure that that it's stable, it works well. We do balancing updates here and there to make the guild, make the arena a bit more fun, and then see how it goes. Would it be asking player for some game changing idea and proposal? Wouldn't be good. Wouldn't be good. I guess you mean in general, like a suggestion, right? But yeah, I mean, we have suggestions, I'll be listening, but the ideas itself is, I always say ideas in general, like overall ideas, are not worth it if you cannot execute it. So we need to make sure um, we are you're trying to implement ideas that make sense, and also make sense from our resources we have. We have a roadmap we're working on. We are in constant communication with the team, with the mods, with the looking in Discord, with the suggestion channel. A lot of implementation we're doing is actually from you guys, which you are asking for. So always happy to see suggestions in the suggestion channel. We're reading them. Um, and some of them are really cool. We are having some cool features coming as well. But any suggestions, we're happy to. We did this many times. So, for example, we had an idea, we want to integrate it, and then we say, okay, this suggestion makes much more sense now. We should do it now and prioritize it. So, definitely make sure to use the suggestion channel. No, yeah. Roadmap is also about pet and lands. How the development of these features are going, and when we have some sneak peek. That's going to be interesting. So, lands is a bit more further away, but the pets are not that much less further away. But they're going forward. Basically, our first focus is going to be pets, and later on lands. But they, at the end, we are also a gaming project, and we want to make sure we have nice game features and it makes sense for the game what we do. So we don't want to like do a land sale, do something, and then there's nothing to do. So the land is very focusing more and more on the UGC side. We call it land. Maybe at the end it's not a land. I mean, um, do do we do a land sale? Do we do a land mint, or do we do a pet mint? Do we do a pet sale? This are a lot of there are a lot of external factors around that, like how the market is going, how our partners doing. Is the launchpad make sense? Does a mint make sense right now? Which chain are we going? Do we go multi chain? Do we don't go multi chain? For example, the engine migration. This is something takes much more time suddenly, and it takes a lot of time from your budget in uh, time slots. So the roadmap gets shifted. So there are a lot of external effects on the timeline, and also like what is integrated, what not. Um, and also we're pioneering stuff, right? So there's no real winning recipe for Web3 game right now. We see, for example, a lot of lands right now, right? Which land model makes sense? Which land has enough utility that you can justify in land? Let's say land scarcity. Does it make sense to have land scarce? Because it's digital, right? It's not a real world land that is scarce something. Or what does it mean, for example, what should the landowner do, and what should the not landowner do? For example, because if you integrate something that only landowners can do, you kind of gate a complete gateway, right? Gameplay way. So you need to have both sides. uh, or you need to like think about, okay, the land, what if there's a land investor but he doesn't want to play, but can a player play still on his land, and do something with that land, and also have a share of commissions, etc. So there are a lot of questions that needs to be asked, but also from the how the industry is moving forward, there are also different trends, and there are also different learnings that we see. um this is more a general aspect right now. If we see, for example, roadmap changes in our, let's say, in our timeline right now, or in general, um we do really our best to make sure we reach those roadmap, but sometimes there are like circumstances say, okay, we need to pivot, we need to do something else first. Well, that doesn't make sense. For example, as I said, engine migration, something in general. But also, like, we are still a small indie studio, right? But looking at the giants, like, let's say, for example, Engine just announced their NFT IOs, which I am super excited. But they also like had like that schedule for earlier on, right? So other games like Immutable X, for example, as well, they want to have their platform much earlier, and now they're merged with Polygon ZK endeavors. But that was not planned, right? So it is always like you need to pivot, you need to see what you do, and I just want to say thank you so much for being patient with us. I know the roadmap or maybe doesn't look like we are fast in delivering stuff, but at the end we are low budget. We are still a limited budget company. Behind this, we want to make sure we are in the long ride and not in short term, etc. Want to make sure we create a meaningful game, we create a meaningful ecosystem around the game, and really have a nice game and nice experience for everyone involved. But back to the question, the pet is going to be first. So you're probably gonna see some sneak peeks from the pet as well very soon. Underworld had no updates while we were collecting hundreds of orbs, extra utility for them. Yeah, we're planning some extra utility for them. The problem with Underworld is we kind of shifted and we thought about it a bit differently. We thought, hey, why shouldn't the players be able to do the puzzle? So we kind of shifted the idea of Underworld a bit slightly. That's why you don't see any new levels. This said, we're gonna release some new levels for sure. That's something we do. But right now we're focusing on other game design aspects of the game. Are we going to see more titles? But actually, the Underworld we definitely push. I'm gonna push for this because I'm also looking for having more. Are we going to see more titles on side of Forest Knight? This currently is working on new games, and Forest Knight is the main focus. Our Forest Knight is currently our main focus. We are definitely looking into. I can only say this. We want to make sure we create the ecosystem, and really use the blockchain tech and the interoperability of it to the fullest. Right, the collectability and the ownership is such a beautiful thing in gaming that we as game studio want to make full of it. But at the end, we're also a game studio and not we are not Forest Knight company. We are Chrono Games in that sense. So you can expect to see some stuff coming from us or from our partners, etc. I don't want to say anything. I want to use 50 meters for battle instead of 5 or 10. In this way, the chance of getting NFTs more in stone will increase to 50 meters. Because we don't want to make it too easy for. So getting NFT should be work in that sense. You know what I mean? Sense. I think the addition of having the 10 double one better for faster iterations. Having the 50 meat is also a good idea. We can think about it. I can put it on the list in that sense. But we don't want to create the game as the game should not become an automated thing. It should still make fun, should be playable, and also should be predictable for people. So if you put 10, you know exactly, okay, I'm technically doing this twice and I have double chance of getting it. But it is still predictable. It's less punishing if you do that and you don't get it, and if you do 50 and you don't get it, maybe it doesn't feel very well. So we're testing with 10, but 50 is not a bad idea in technically in my mind right now. But we talk with the game designer and see if that makes sense or not. But as I said, we don't want to make it repetitive in that. How can we affect the current gameplay we have? Talent system. It's of one of our drawing boards we had, and we pivoted a bit, so it's delayed right now. The talent system, how it changed the gameplay is gonna make sure that you, as a player, have a chance to kind of customize the strategy or customize the hero you want through the talents of your playstyle. So when, let's say, a talent is a lifesteal or a talent is more damage, and then there's the other one is something different. So you can choose what your barbarian should do or what your strategy in general is. So it's definitely going to affect gameplay in a very interesting way. Just gives you more variety of play, to be honest. Marcus V2, can we expect being treated now in game? If not, what can we expect new about it? Marcus V2, so as I said, in-game integration is always difficult still because of the Google Play and App Store regulations. Because we are doing mobile, and mobile is so early in Web3, and also mobile regulations are still very gated from Google, Apple. Our hands are tied, so we cannot do anything to risk getting out of those platforms, because then that's it. That's why we are very cautious about integrating blockchain stuff in the game, um, directly, if that makes sense. Marcus V2. So we're looking into, first of all, make sure the marketplace is a bit more tight. Have some do have features like offers. Your profile looks better. Better connection to the game. There are a lot of stuff we're working on in that sense, or we want to work on in for the V2. We have some. We have also a small announcement today about the marketplace as well. So I'm gonna show it into later on. Guild V3. What more expect to guild aside the guild wars? So guild wars, guild boss, football. We have actually guild boss, some sort of guild boss in our timeline. Guild wars we have also in timeline. We have guild inventory, so everyone can contribute to it. We have a concept called guild flags. So the flag you see there is everyone has the same one, but later on it's not going to be. So you are going to be able to modularly design your own flag, and that's going to be a very cool thing. But I don't want to spoil too much. But this is like the basically what we are looking for. There's so many. Holy shit, what's going on? NFT Match V2 does include engine items and special NFTs. We bring the engine items to Polygon, and there are going to be many of them going to be able to merge as well. The Easter event was the most an event besides season that I participated in. 15 months of playing Forest Night. It was engaging. It helped building a strong community. It brought responsibility between guild members. It had exciting rewards. Will Forest Night continue building on this idea? Will we see more between guild competition? Thank you so much for this. I really appreciate you liked it. I think we worked very hard on the guild side. I think that was the we also see it as a very successful event. We saw a lot of guilds be created, work together, and having this cooperative effort to earn NFTs was such a cool thing. So we're definitely going to have those more and more in the future. Is there a strategy plan offset the company's carbon footprint? Oh, that's a very nice question. So we were definitely. So what we want to do, we want to make sure we're working with from technology side. We want to make sure we're working with blockchains that are environmental friendly, right? Proof of stake, low energy cost, etc. There's also other endeavors what we are working on. For example, one company called Games.Forest. We met them in Munich actually. So it's, a partnership with them is, for example, some sort of they calculate our footprint as a game studio, and they tell us, okay, you need to offset that much. So what we're going to do, for example, is the part of the treasury or the part of the revenue goes to for example, offset our footprint, and what they do, they plant trees for us, etc. So there are definitely some sustainability, something on my mind, and we're definitely looking into having that implemented for the whole ecosystem or company. Cool thing is our game is mobile, so we don't waste much energy for playing it, at least. Our social aid project planned for the future. To be honest, that's something I myself want to do for sure at some point. But to do a social aid, we need to make sure we have our roadmap, we have our good revenue coming out, we have our investment coming out. So what we are planning is definitely we are planning to have partner with projects, with organizations that doing this stuff, and then do collaboration, drops, events where, for example, there's skin that is tied to this cause, and all revenue or part of revenue or 50% of revenue always go to that cause. So that is something we are definitely looking into. And also, for example, if you trade that skin, the revenue, the trading fees go to that cause, something like that. So I think NFT and digital collectibility in general is definitely a great tool for philanthropy, if that makes sense. What measures do you have in toxic communication or behavior? That's definitely something where all games in this world have to tackle, right? We want to make sure We have amazing mods that help us to filter stuff, and this is something ongoing, an ongoing battle. As our as our player base also grows more and more, we want to make sure that we have certain tools and certain systems in place to make sure that the least amount of toxicity and toxic behavior as possible. Where the night coin used for merging go-to is burned together with NFTs that were sexualized. Ah, that's a good question. Actually, you can check yourself in the transaction details. All the night is going to one address, and that address is going to be the treasury address. Used as a treasury address for that particular transaction. So the nights are going to be stayed there, and then probably it's not decided yet what we do with it, but the plan is to use it as a treasury for you guys again. So let's say a DAO, and then we do a proposal, what do we do with those, or maybe funnel it back to you as rewards. So those um, those are still like not decided, but you can see where they're going. Can reward most active players either monthly or weekly. I mean, we have a lot of rewarding mechanism in the game. Especially in arena now, there's a season reward. So if you're active, you're good. You're gonna get a lot of rewards from the season. So it's an indirect rewarding for being active. Um, Also, you can earn NFTs in it if you're active. So being active is already rewarded by nature. I don't think it makes sense to have too much rewarding for just being active. It's more it's all about bringing value to the ecosystem, right? So we have, for example, the paladins order, what Alex is doing, so you can be rewarded for helping the ecosystem. Um, but a straight monthly or weekly rewarding system needs to be like planned. We can use it as a proposal. That's again, we have a DAO, we have a proposal, we think about it. If it makes sense, that makes sense. Why is there no training section for the boss? I'm wasting more than 10,000 gems on one missing the boss section is enough to think about. A training for the boss. That's something I never heard of that, to be honest. That's an interesting aspect. I didn't know it. Yeah, you mean like okay, yeah. That's something we didn't think about it, to be honest. And it didn't seem to be high priority, to be honest. But we can maybe revisit this idea if a training section makes sense. I think as we add more bosses and also variety of bosses, um, it's like inevitable to have some sort of yeah experiencing rather than just having like strategies beforehand. But there's always like a free try in that sense, so you can try that. What? How long are we going to get Wonderworld? Or I'm not using most of us. Yeah, we definitely working on having that. Also we're definitely having something for Underworld Orb and also for the gold because they're going up and up. So that's something coming. Is there any plans for expanding the dev team in order to speed up the project? It's no secret that things have the snail pace, and a larger team would be invaluable inspiration of the timeline. First of all, I would definitely argue it's not snail pace. So if you look at what we had a year ago and what we have now, it's pretty decent. Um, and a larger team, of course, means larger, faster development on paper, but not it's not always like that. At least not immediately the effect. So you need to like get onboarded, understand the project, understand the team, work together, project management. There's onboarding phase, etc. We are also from the company and from the being completely transparent with you guys from the let's say economy perspective is a very tough time right now. So you need to make sure as a company you keep the burn rate low, you keep a good management of who is doing what. We have a small team right now, but we have a small, very good and stable team in that sense. We are definitely trying to increase our dev team or dev development members. Um, but it is not as easy as say, hey, just add more devs and we have everything faster. Sometimes it's not that. Litecoin is quiet in gutter currently. What is the team's plan to increase the value of bringing life to the coin and project? Well, I mean, investors would like more info where things are headed, where the things were say current progression was bad. So the Knight token is basically the COI to token of the ecosystem. So we adding more features with let's say important transactions are always used by Knight. So the merge was a very good thing to see. Special merge is coming as well. We're using DAO as a staking module as well. But our basically what we're really trying to make sure that the game is fun and the token is used in various places of the game, and also we're going to expand the ecosystem more and more, and give it a more utility in that coming in that. What about the Ignite button market? What plans for that feature? That's gonna come soon. That's gonna be now it's coming. If I invest in the game early, what are investors' interest? I don't know what to answer this. To be honest, we're focusing on creating great game, and that's like my job in that sense. What are the plans for lending NFTs items in the guild? What are the plans for lending NFTs? So basically, we want to actually have it much earlier with one of our partners. But what we realize, we need to make sure the UX is smooth as possible, and everything happens at the same place, so everyone knows and understands. Okay, if it's rented, if it's not rented, owned, if it's not owned, because it creates a lot of confusion. The renting system. So we pushed it back a bit and reevaluated it a bit, and understood we need to definitely integrate it natively in our product rather than just having it as a partner thing. So that's why it's a bit of delayed now. But that's something we're definitely looking into. As a fairly new player, would it be possible to farm virtual weapons in the future for the other heroes in adventure mode? Seeing as current weapons, yes, we're definitely going to um, add more virtual items in the map, so everyone can. That's our goal, basically. We want to make sure that every hero can at least get one virtual item in the map. That's a very good point and very good. When iOS from last year support really close, it's actually really close. We're definitely with the next sprint, we're going to start with iOS. Sorry, we are going to continue with iOS. I'm wondering that other ideas the devs have apart from the current map system, linked quest with perhaps sort of story progression with perhaps some rewards. I'm wondering what other ideas the devs have apart from the current map system. The campaign. I think our next I don't want to say what we're gonna do, but the guild quest was one of the quest part. We have some ideas on the gameplay right now. So we're mostly working on make sure the gameplay is with more fun. We have some idea for an end game mode as well, and we have some ideas for. I cannot say that, but something cool that makes you guys have more content on a PvE side as well. So you enjoy much more variety of maps, much more stuff. That's going to be very interesting part. Is planned to have any game mode on the board where you use more than 3 heroes at once? Oh. I mean, we have some gameplay or experimental gameplay ideas in our mind. As I said, we want to make sure we see how the season 2 goes. Um, make sure it's stable, looks well, works well. Our balancing doesn't break anything. Our balancing is fair. So we have this 3 versus 3 nailed down in that sense. And then we can look into co-op, and also we're looking into one of the bigger ideas is have increase as we get more heroes into it, increase the battlefield and also increase the team size. And also guild um, guild wars coming out. That's going to be also very interesting. So I cannot say exactly if it's going to happen or not, what's going to happen, but we definitely have other game modes planning. I think about my any game mode to give value to virtual weapons, actually, like NFT event, something like that. A game mode to give value to virtual, like a no NFT event or something like that. I don't understand this question, to be honest. I would like to have more clarity about the team dedicated to figure out how two different game modes and area moment are handled. For example, there are many small bugs issues really lasting for a long time. Who's responsible for them? Is this person same taking here? Who is looking into many good suggestions from the players and more during specific. Okay. To be honest, yes. We actually played the game. So I played the game. Abdullah plays the game. I like to play the game as well. The mods play the game. So we do play the game. But of course, in no game you're gonna find that developers are playing more than actual players. That's just a normal thing. How the companies works is more company side. So this is something an investor asks, right? But we are still a small team, so we want to make sure that we're handling everything on our side. We get help from mod team. We listen to the suggestions. Uh, I do a lot of I do some development work, for example, but also managing most of the stuff. Um, this is basically, I mean, who's responsible for them? Is this person the same taking care of maybe like iOS development, pet skills, and PvP, separated? Yeah, but this is basically the game how game studio works, right? So I would say from my side. So what I do is um so I do some development on the side, but not that much anymore. Make sure that the roadmap is happening, what partnership you're going to do. So as a CEO, you do these stuff, right? Then we have a development team that works on the game itself. Then we have a team that works on the website and on our blockchain products in that sense. We have art team that works on the art side stuff, and we have let's say a marketing team that works on managing socials, managing Discord, managing events coming up, etc. So that's how it works. We get a lot of help from the mods for the QA as well. So and you guys find a lot of bugs, so we check on Discord all the time, and then we have separate sprints. Let's say, okay, this next 2 weeks, the next APK should do have this and that, and then we need to implement these that. So for those to be implemented, what do we need, etc. This is more project management and how to run a company, etc., rather than directly to the game, I would say. Balancing buff nerfs are necessary in every game, but when the hero item getting nerfed right after you spend money on it is really unfair. As I said again, I really said it again. It's very hard to predict this stuff, right? So it's also an open market. It's a secondary marketplace. You get something from a secondary marketplace, not even from us or something. So it is very hard to predict this stuff. But what we do as a game studio, as a project, as a project in general, is to make sure the game is dynamic, make sure the game is fun, and we do changes as we think makes sense. And also, a lot of those changes are based on the feedback of the players and not because we want to just change for sake of change. If that makes sense. Some interaction only enabled on the website. I'm sure there are some players who do not visit Discord, aware of the marketplace, on interactions. preferably soonish. Thank you. um, Again, the same thing. It's very hard to some stuff is hard to put in the apps because of the regulatory problems. We are having a news feature with the next EP. We're gonna have a news feature coming up, so we can add more or inform actual players about stuff happening on Discord, for example, so we can send them to Discord, etc. So that's something we are planning to have. Having the actual ability to, for example, merge from the game, that's something we're working on, but we need to do it, as I said, in a way that legal allows us, if that makes sense. Can reward with some NFTs the best contributors, maybe top 5 contributors of what? There are definitely top 10 gets NFT in the arena. And we have a paladin order, I would say. But I think that's similar to the most played, most active players. So I'm very open for maybe proposals or suggestions, but it needs to make sense of what is the contribution. Doesn't make sense from the security perspective. Can it be abused? We have, for example, we have the content creation program. So if you create content, you get rewarded. You have a tournament program. So if you manage a tournament, a local tournament or not local, and manage a tournament, community tournament, more of I think 25 people, you get sponsored reward pool. Paladin's order, so your contribution over there gets rewarded, and of course, playing the game itself is definitely going to reward you, especially. Do you have any news about the engine items? Solution will never be measurable. I think I already asked this. This is going to be the first proposal from the DAO, and yes, based on you're gonna see this proposal about the merge. It's gonna also say about. Okay, I came to the bottom. That was a lot. Let me check the chat a bit. Sorry, I'm not multitasking at all. When are you mentioning many nice stuff, but none of them dates? We need to be more transparent on the schedule. To be honest, it's very hard to be transparent on the schedule because and a lot of things changes, right? We have a roadmap on the website. We're trying to keep that. We are doing weekly updates on our monthly updates on our so what we do, so you know exactly what we're doing. But at the end, it's also a software product. Sometimes stuff takes more time than usual. So we give you a rough estimate, but we never can be able to say next Thursday in 2 months we're gonna have Guild V2 exact time. It's very hard, and I think I ask for a bit of patience and also understanding because while we are a small team, even bigger teams, and when we talk bigger teams, much bigger teams than us, have the same issue because software is unpredictable, if that makes sense. And adding blockchain to the software even makes it more unpredictable. Do we have anything else? Any other questions? Any other thing on the chat before I finish? Because we're talking. I think I'm talking for 1 hour. Oh, sorry about that. I know you guys have busy, have stuff to do. All right, good. Oh, actually, I can sneak peek our. I forgot to speak with. I'm bad at this. The announcement gonna come out soon. Let's do it now, maybe. I hope this works. Let's see. All right. I need to practice viewing announcements on live more. Sorry about that, but we're going to announce something cool in a couple minutes. Or the announcement, I don't know. We're live for a long time. Um, but we're announcing a concept called Forest Night Quest. So you're going to be more rewarded even to be dealing with our blockchain products. So that's going to be exciting. That's going to also have you know that we're focusing more as well on our products on the blockchain side, so the website and the merge and new stuff coming up. And I think it's a very interesting aspect of having the rewarding mechanism within our platform, because the most important part is while there are other third-party platforms, you want to make sure the Forest platform is used, because the fees also goes to treasury, and the treasury also used by the player. So it's a win-win when using our own platform. But at the end, it's also competitive nature of the market, right? If OpenSea has a better UX, then we use OpenSea or Luxor or whatever. So we want to make sure we having this because we are having a lot of blockchain activities and merge coming out, having merge right now running, other merge components coming soon. We want to make sure you doing these stuff is rewarded. So the night quest is going to be announced soon on our Twitter. Have a look. I'm looking forward to see yeah your sorry, just read something. Your response on it. Chat to it on Twitter. Anyway, thank you very much. Sorry, it's new setup. First time I'm doing it alone. Bad at multitasking. Also, never announce something live. So bear with us. Hopefully, the next one is better. And also, me myself, I'm planning to do more these uh, lives or town halls on a personal level, like only me talking with you guys. I feel like um, this is very important to get a bit more regular feedback, also, and also have a chat together. What do I think, and have a bit more feedback from you guys as well. Cheers! Thank you so much. Talk to you guys on Discord. Appreciate the support. Thanks for the patience one more time. I see you on the battlefield. And join my guild, the Unforgiven. I'm trying to build a good guild, but Alex is just better than